Hi, I'm Paul. Welcome back to Recycle Model Railways. So, as you've seen by the thumbnail, I've been on eBay again, and I thought this time I might give you a bit of an idea what I look for, how I figure out what I'm going to pay, etc. Just for those who are maybe new to it or who are trying to work to a budget. So, you're going to have to see my ugly face most of the time on this one because I ain't got a great deal to show you. You've seen the photo. That took about 20 minutes to organise. So, let's get on with it. Roll the intro. So, as I said, unfortunately you get to look at my ugly mug this time for more of the video. So, you've seen the thumbnail of all the stuff that me and Al Mitchell, my youngest, got out earlier. It was just a quick show you of what I've recently bought. So as you see, there's quite a selection of things: wagons, coaches, engines. No, I'm not an obsessive buyer. I like bargains. So I thought, why not put a video out talking about how you do your searches on eBay, for those who are new to the hobby, who are trying to save money, for those who are working on a budget. I'm not saying what I'm doing is infallible or it's the right way or the wrong way or anything else. It's just what works for me. So, first most important thing, write a list. Write a list of what you're looking for. That's the best thing to do. I write a list maybe once a month of what else I might want, what extra coaches I want, of what type, etc. And then I just look through eBay. So when I'm looking, I don't do a specific search for the item personally, because I might come across something else that's a bargain. So my two terms that I put in is double O gauge as the search engine, or model railways, and then select double O gauge. You'd be surprised how much difference it can be when you're looking under those two terms. You will get stuff on one that doesn't appear on the other list. So I'm scrolling through. What am I looking at? More than anything else, the price. Now, I forgot an important part. Once you've done that initial search, you've got a filter. My filter, I always set my filter to ending soonest. I want it now, not in a week's time. I want to see it today. So I'll click ending soonest and then start scrolling. So I'm looking, like I said, for low prices. Anything that's under 20 quid attracts my attention. So that's kind of a cut off with me, 20 quid. I won't look at it if it's already over 20 quid. I'm not interested. Don't want to go over there. So that's my first thing. Ending soonest, and then set it at, and then look for anything for me, not for you, for me, set it at 20 quid. So we're starting on that ball. We're looking down. I look at what's coming up. How long has it got left to go? You will sometimes find things that are in the last 24 hours that have stupidly low bids on them, and they go immediately in the watch list. Or if I really want it, I might stick a daft little bid on it there and then, so that I get a flag up that the auction's going to end and I remember to pick it up. But again, I'm working from my list unless there is something catches my eye. Now, I've done this in the last week. I was looking for something in particular, which I will show you in a little bit. Looking for something in particular, happened to find a couple of job lot items, thought they were pretty good, did my calculation, which I'm going to explain in a second, and figured out what my maximum bid was and thought I have a good chance of getting both of these, and I did. Unfortunately, they're not here yet, but I think one of them was 30 something wagons and 12 coaches, and the other one was a mixture of coaches, wagons, and 4 or 5 locals. I think 4 were diesels and 1 was a steam, but they were a good price. So what's a good price to me? This is what I work off. So for me, there is no point in buying one wagon at a time, because by the time you pay the postage on that one wagon, it's become expensive. So I only buy wagons inside of job lots. I will not buy them when it's advertised as a rake, because when you write the word rake, the seller seems to think you can sell it for 3 times the price. Not interested. Job lot or spares and repairs if you're handy. So don't buy wagons on their own unless you're looking for 1 or 2 to finish off your own rake. But it is an expensive way to buy them, because you might get the wagon for £5 and then the postage is going to cost you another 3 to 4. It's a bit pointless. So I look for job lots a lot, unless I'm looking for something in particular. So where's my boundaries? Let's say let's look at the last one I got. 35 wagons, I think it was. It might be 36, can't remember. And 12 coaches. So when I'm looking at a job lot, or when I'm looking at anything anywhere, be it on eBay, at a model train show, it doesn't matter, I don't want to pay more than £3 for a wagon. Yes, I'm a cheapskate. I don't want to pay more than £3 because I want to mess about with it and turn it into something I want. So I don't see the point in spending 20, 30, whatever it is, for one item to then start messing about with. I'd rather buy it very cheap. So if we've got, let's round this up, we've got 36 wagons in a job lot. Times it by 3 gives us 390, was it 108, I think, off the top of my head. So there's £108 worth of value in the wagons. Then the coaches. I don't like paying more than £5 per coach. So if we've got 12 coaches, there's another £60. Add that on to what we've got, so you're looking at getting on towards £170. So the way I look at it is, when I'm bidding, is if I buy them at my price of £3 a wagon, £5 a coach, I'm not paying more than £170. I want to pay a lot less. Now, a lot of these job lots will get flurries of bids right in the last half an hour or so. This is where you have to be clever. So I set an alarm on my phone to come up to wait to, remind me 5 minutes before the auction's about to end, and then I'll sit there with my maximum bid ready to go that's under what I said. So if I said £170, my max will be 160, because I still want to take some money off. And I will sit and I will wait and I will wait into the dying seconds and chuck my bid in right at the last minute and hope that my bid is more than anybody else's is. It doesn't always work. Waiting for that bar going across the screen doing this and we're figuring out who the winner is annoying, because it takes too long. But it's nice when it comes up and says you won, pay now. So that's it. It's as simple as that. What do you want for your for what you're starting with, for your layout to add on to whatever you want to, whatever it is? Write a list. Do your search. Double O gauge or model railways. Trust me, do both. You'll be surprised at what you find that you didn't get on the last one. Then you filter, ending soonest. There is no point in you looking at an item that's got 6 days to go that's at 99 pence, because in 6 days it might be £99. You're looking for the things that are coming up in the next 24 hours at the most. And then set a target. How much are you prepared to pay per wagon? How much are you prepared to pay for a coach? And if it's a job lot, do the multiplication like I just said. And then you've got your high figure, and take a little bit off if you think it's quite a bit of money. So then it's the dying seconds. Now I might be telling you lot out there how to beat me at my own game here, but hey ho, this is about sharing stuff. So there's a couple of things I am going to show you for particular reasons. I don't want to bore you to death, but for those of you with eagle eyes who looked at that thumbnail picture, You might have seen an awful lot of these. 20 to be particular. 20 chassis. Why the hell did you buy 20 chassis? Well, sometimes Triang metal chassis can fracture, and they are a pig to put back together. They are a pig to work with, and sometimes when you buy a job lot you might get a box, or I have one there which is like a low-sided loader, but it's got no chassis, so you buy them. I think I paid 15 quid for 20 chassis, so less than £1, and if I get a damaged wagon, I've got the chassis for it. So don't ignore stuff like this. This can make the difference. Right, this next item didn't even buy on eBay, so I bought myself, oh, wrong way Paul, a Class 8. Everybody knows the Class 8. It's not Bachmann, it's Lima, and I know there's some of you out there, oh god no, not Lima. I like Limas. If you fix them right, they run beautifully. So why did I buy this one at a model rail show? I'll show you why. Because someone has butchered the cab. So the guy didn't think he was going to sell it. I offered him 15 quid. It runs beautifully. And why on earth did I buy it with a butchered cab? Are you mad? No. I bought it with a butchered cab because several months ago I was watching Charlie Bishop on his YouTube channel, and somebody made him a Class 13, and I really liked it. And as Charlie said, and rightfully so, they were only known to run at Tinsley Yard. Oh, I'm not doing a Tinsley Yard. I don't even live near Tinsley. But you know what? I don't care. I liked it. The premise of it is 2 Class 8s, cabs removed off one with some kind of a boxing in type of section, and they're slaved together. And I thought, oh, that might be an interesting project. I do know that on eBay there's a guy on there is selling a little bit of a conversion pack that you just kind of glue in, and with different couplers and different buffers and the whole that, and it's not very expensive, but it meant butchering a Class 8. Do you want to butcher one for the sake of it? Does it make sense now that you buy one that's already been butchered by somebody else? We are going to have to lose the motor because this will get in the way of the piece that goes in, but 15 quid is going to get me the project done that I wanted done without trashing a loco, and it means I end up with a spare engine because this one will be a dummy. It's a P-Raz. So when you're walking around, think about this list in your head of projects that you're thinking of, or things that you want to do, or you think, oh, that was interesting. Just look when you're wandering around. I got this one at the Darlington Model Railway Show last weekend, where I happened to bump into Richard from New Junction. He was there representing the Curascale. Had a nice little chat with him. Doubt very much Richard will be watching this because he's always at shows apparently. But Richard, it was nice to meet you, mate. Shame I didn't win the Curascale loco that was on offer, well, on a raffle. That was 2 quid wasted, but never mind. Anyway, one last thing before I go. For those of you who've been watching over the last few weeks, I did a video a couple of weeks ago, and the title was, one of these is at 180 quid, and it was all about being at Peter Spares, seeing the Bachmann Class 20 flawless, absolutely flawless. I was amazed at the quality of them. They were just out of this world. But for 380 quid for 2 of them, I just couldn't bring myself to pay it. And it's not me. I like the old locos to fix up. So I've been on a little bit of a mission, determined, because I have pretty much every type of diesel loco, I think, in the, I'm going into last week's here, in the period that I'm talking about, or going to do, but I don't have any Class 20s, so I was on a mission. The trouble is, Class 20s, no matter where they're from, who made them, how old they are. They're expensive. And I'm talking like 80, 90, up over. The brand new ones, I mean, I think I saw some on eBay the other week, £240 for one. I thought, wow, there's no way could I bring myself to spending that much money on a loco. So if you remember in that other video, it was how many can I buy? And at the time I did put it on, and I think I showed you 15, and I had something like 80 quid left to go. I actually got really lucky and I got another 6 locos. So I end up with 21 for £10 over the budget of the 2 Bachmanns. So that was good buying. So the Class 20s. Guess who's got 2? Wait, I'll figure this out on the screen. Guess who got 2 Class 20s? One's in green, one's in blue. Old Lima stuff. They do run, and they run quite well. They're quite nicely finished. They've even got the little head cords on the front and at the back. They are a little tatty, but that's what I want. So, considering what I've just told you about second-hand prices, and the fact that I don't like paying a lot of money, I got both of them in an auction for 80 quid. Now, that's a hell of a lot. I want 4 locos for that, not 2. But I really wanted these Class 20s. I've wanted some Class 20s since I saw the Bachmann ones. So I've looked and looked and looked and looked until I hit on them, and I thought I'll offer 80 quid for the pair. I had a feeling I might get them because I don't think many people had picked up on them, or they hadn't seen them, or maybe it's just that old Lima stigma where people don't want them. I don't know, and I don't care. I got 2 locals that I wanted for a fraction of the price that they should have been. I reckon I should have been paying 60 to 80 quid each. So I'm a very happy man because I got me 2 Class 20s, which means I won't be bugging the wife for the 2 Bachmann ones for Christmas. So Fred's probably chuckling at this point, Fred at Wilbury Castle, because he decided he would just rub salt into the wound the other week and tell me that he had a Class 20 but his wife had bought it for him. You lucky sod. Anyway, I don't care anymore. I've got my own now. So there it is. That's all this was about. I just wanted to have a very quick chat with you about buying on eBay for those of you that are getting started, for those of you that are on a budget, or for people like me who are just tight and don't want to spend too much money. But as I said, for me, I don't want to spend loads of money. You hear lots of guys on YouTube talking about, yo, when you've spent £90 on a loco, you don't want to mess about with this, that and the other. Well then, I don't have to worry about that because mine are generally 20 quid. I've literally won one minutes before I've started this video. I didn't want it, but it was there. I saw it yesterday. It was cheap. I followed it this morning and I went mad. I went mad because I spent 6p more than I normally do. So I got a Hornby Class 37 for £20 and 6p. 20 quid is my limit, and I will walk away from an auction. I had another 2 Class 20s in my watch list, put them in last night, both 14, 15 quid, and I thought, oh, they might be worth watching. Turned the phone on this morning, I had a look, both are in the 30s. What did I do? Delete from watch list, because I'm not interested no more. Yes, I like them, but I'm not paying 30 quid. Because if they've jumped up that, they've doubled in price overnight, they still had 6 hours to go, what price are they going to be at? Okay, you might have got both of them for the same price that I paid for these two, but I'm not chancing it, and I'm not going to sit and wait on it when I already think, well, they're at £31 and coppers each now with 6 hours to go. Nah. So you've got to be strict with yourself. You can't buy everything, because, well, apart from anything else, your wife will go mad. But you can't think, oh, I'll just add a little bit more money on and this, that and the other. Only do that rarely, and I do mean rarely, or you will get bitten and you will end up having far too much stuff, and you will have spent far too much money. But treat yourself now and again, like I did with the 2 Class 20s. However, in the same week, I've trapped myself twice. So as well as getting them, I got it into my head a few weeks ago. Pardon me. I got it into my head a few weeks ago. I wanted a Mallard. Iconic train. I know some people don't believe in having well-known trains on your layout. My layout, so sod it. I wanted a Mallard. Again, didn't want to spend a great deal of money. But God, they're expensive, and I mean ridiculously expensive. And after trying to get several of them, I saw one last night that was advertised as a buy it now or make an offer, and it wasn't Mallard, but it was the same colour. It was Seagull. Very nice looking loco, blue with the red wheels. Everything seemed to be intact. It looked really spectacular. And some LNERT coaches, like I don't have enough of them now. And I just threw a cheeky offer at it. Just chucked it in and thought, well, if he says no, he says no. I got a thing back in seconds off eBay. We've paid for that for you, because that was an acceptable offer. Surprised, still cost me 60 quid. But I wanted it. It was in beautiful condition. And I don't think anybody else had spotted it, because when I chucked my offer in, it only had a few hours to go to end its auction, and yet there was others of the A4 class way higher on the bids. And I do think sometimes that some of these sale items get misplaced, shall we say, or might not have been keyed under the right section or whatever. I'm fairly sure that happens sometimes, where things are put in the wrong little slot, and if you're doing a specific search, you won't find it. I found the Mallard under the title of 00 gauge. Ending soon as scrolling down, oh, there's one there. That's nearly over. Do I want to spend that much money? And I sat and thought about it for a bit, and I thought, you know what? It's a very tidy looking loco. It's 3 times the price that I want to pay. Take out the 2 coaches, there's a tenner. And I thought, yeah, you know what, I'm having it, sod it. But don't do that all the time. There's no point in trying to work with a budget if you keep blowing it every 3 minutes. So I've done it twice now. Twice since I've come back into the hobby. Twice I've blown it. First time to get my Class 20s I've got, and last night to get the A4. I was going to say Mallard, but it's not. It might become Mallard, or it might become Sir Nigel Gresley, just as a tribute to the man. I haven't quite decided yet. I have already been looking at Silver Tay for all the new nameplates, add-on bits, but yeah, anyway, I hope this is useful to somebody out there. If you have any contradictory comments about eBay and using eBay, etc., feel free, come at us. Even, I mean, you might tell me something that I didn't think about, that may think, oh, that's a clever idea. I do love the comment section. I like doing these videos because I get the chance to share with you what I'm doing, but I love the comments, because comments can help you make your mind up on things, or more importantly, give you a better perspective. Now, only yesterday I got a comment off a gentleman about the DCC or not to DCC, and he wrote a comment yesterday and it really opened my eyes. I haven't even given it a thought. Thank you to everybody that wrote on that, giving me their opinions of different controllers, and I went through all of them, and I'd kind of made my mind up which one I thought it was I was going to go for, till this gentleman wrote yesterday and said, what's the point? You haven't got your layout, you don't know how long it's going to be before you can build your layout, and by the time you get around to it, technology's probably going to have moved on, and think there might be something that's even better then, and you've invested a fair amount of money in chips and controllers and everything else for locals to sit in the box for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, however many years it is, for one of my kids leaves home. And I thought, he's right. Why am I doing it? I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. I was doing it because I thought I want the trains to run slower, I want better control, I want this, I want that, I want the It doesn't matter, because right now I'm not running the damn things. So thank you. I wish I could remember what your name was, but you'll know. You wrote on yesterday, and that was the best comment I had about the controllers. What is the point right now? Well done. You were very correct, and I should have thought about that as well. So we're not going to be wasting money on that stuff at the moment. We're just going to leave that well alone. My wife, who's been hauling stuff out the loft for me again, appeared with me one of my old controllers yesterday, so we're going to stick with that, because if you remember, I had that crappy Hornby thing that was a waste of space, and she's brought me down my Hammond & Morgan Duet. I know a lot of people have seen them, so I'm not going to get it out and show you it. Plenty of people have talked about them. I got it in a job years ago when I was originally doing this hobby, when I originally came on YouTube, so I'm just going to stick with that. All Mars will stay as DC for the future, and when the time comes that I've got my layout, yes, I know I said I wanted everything ready to just throw the track down and run them. When the time comes though, let's see what's on the go then, because when I stopped doing this quite a few years ago now, too busy with work and other things going on in life, DCC was out, not quite as prolific as it is now. It wasn't as clever as it is now, that's for sure. So yeah, it might be interesting to see where will we be in 4 years time. I think it was Charlie Bishop again, do like watching Charlie, who was on about, I think it was a Cura scale, gave him, I think it was one of the 37 or something, anyway, one of the locals, brand new, out of the box to try, and the one thing that he said was he loved the chip, because their chip is the most up to date, and it could do various things automatically, one of which was wheel flange squeal. And he liked the fact that when the bogey's twisted, it would trigger the chip to say we're moving, we're turning, and the flange squeal will come on automatically. Now that's a leap, because some people might want flange squeal and they're having to look for the button all the time when they come to a corner. You'll soon get fed up with that, won't you? But if it does it automatically, that's clever. So, no more DCC for this boy, not for the time being. We're going to stick with what we're doing. Anyway, I keep saying I'm going to end this and I don't. We're done. That's it. I've bored you enough. I'm going to get on with some work now. I've got these on the go. I have 7, and that was all I wanted, but guess what? £8 for 2. Bargain. Couldn't say no. So, because I'm already well on with the teaks, I am going to bring them up to the same level that the other teaks are, and try and get all 9 of them finished this weekend, so I can finally say I finished something instead of buying something or whatever else. I've got to finish something now, because I need a video for next time and put it out, so it's going to be the teak coaches, and then that gives me time over the next couple of weeks to finish another project, which I'm planning on it being the Insulfish, because I am so sick and tired of them. Triang chassis, metal, ugh, don't bother. Right, I'm going. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now.